Hello, I'm Orhan Gaybov. You're watching AzTV News. At the plenary session of the Milli Məclis, the bill on the budget of the State Social Protection Fund for 2025 was considered and adopted in the first reading. Revenues and expenditures of the fund in 2025 are forecasted at the level of 7,676,004 million manat, which is 10.45% higher than the current year's budget. A significant part of the fund's revenues will be formed at the expense of compulsory state social insurance contributions, the volume of which will amount to approximately 6 billion manat. An increase of 135 million manat is planned for budget finance structures and 385 million manat for non-budget finance structures. The revenue of the Unemployment Insurance Fund for 2025 is projected at 260,000.7 million manat. Next year, 8,000 more people are expected to join the self-employment program at the expense of the fund. French RT channel attempted another provocation. Azerbaijanis and Turks are two brotherly nations and are capable of committing the same savageries. Documentary full of slander against our country was broadcasted on this channel. In response to this, the Western Azerbaijan community recently articulated its concerns regarding a targeted initiative aimed at Azerbaijan during COP29. Recently, during COP29, we witnessed a smear campaign against Azerbaijan orchestrated by certain Western media outlets. These self-proclaimed independent media, who often tout freedom of speech, have become mere instruments of anti-Azerbaijani and Islamophobic political agendas. Unfortunately, some Western media continue to spread myth about Christian Armenia and Muslim Azerbaijan, forcing societies to view the issue solely through the lens of ethnic and religious fanaticism, the statement read. This documentary is yet another example of how racism and hatred toward Azerbaijan have permeated all spheres of French society in the 21st century. Azerbaijan welcomes the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon and expects this agreement will end the hostilities, the Minister of Foreign Affairs reported. Azerbaijan supporting the resolution of conflicts in a peaceful way and as the initiator of COP29 presidency joint solemn appeal for COP29 truce endorsed by 132 countries calls on all parties to abide by ceasefire and overcome the challenges, the ministry noted. The visit by President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, to Armenia-Azerbaijan border area in the company of members of the EU mission in Armenia, unfortunately, is another demonstration of anti-Azerbaijani policy of different EU member countries and European institutions, reads the statement of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan. We deeply regret that President of the country, which is officially a strategic partner of Azerbaijan, has participated in an unacceptable diplomatic vernacular show leading to the aggravation of relations between Azerbaijan and Poland. Despite the numerous messages sent from Azerbaijani officials to the presidential administration and foreign ministry of Poland, the Polish side did not refrain from this provocative step. Azerbaijan retains its right to take due diplomatic measures against this unfriendly action, the ministry noted. The number of European countries who want to purchase gas from Azerbaijan is increasing. Slovakia can be the next importer of our gas from the continent. The negotiations, which have been going on since the beginning of the year, are continuing.
Due to geopolitical tensions, the price of the natural gas in Europe was raised by 45%. On the one hand, the cold weather has drastically increased the demand for gas, while on the other hand, the delay in the supply of gas from the United States has exacerbated the situation on the continent. Even the Western media reports that Europe is expecting to face a new gas crisis. Slovakia is working on the diversity of the sources of gas supply, including on the options to export gas from Azerbaijan. The Minister of Economy of Slovakia recently issued a statement on this. Peter Pellegrini, the Slovak president who visited Azerbaijan to attend COP29, voiced his views concerning energy partnership with Azerbaijan.
See Azerbaijan as a very reliable partner in this region, a player in this area, and we discussed many topics. Of course, now we are struggling with the transit of gas through Ukraine from the beginning of next year, So we discussed also the possibility how Azerbaijan can start to supply gas to Slovakia and also to help us to keep the transit through Ukraine alive. We'll see what will be the final decision.
The president stressed the provision of transit of gas over Ukraine, but this is not the only way to supply gas from Azerbaijan to Slovakia. The statement of the Minister of Economy of Slovakia stresses that Slovakia is connected to the gas network of the neighboring countries. It should be noted that the overall volume of the gas consumed in Slovakia last year amounted to 4,230,000,000 cubic meters. By the way, the supply of Azerbaijani gas to Europe is carried out by the integral part of the Southern Gas Corridor, the Trans-Adriatic Pipeline. Currently, the put-through capacity of the pipeline is 12 billion cubic meters. It is envisaged that in the near future, the volume of transported gas will be doubled, and by the end of 2027 will reach 16 billion cubic meters. For this, the Southern Gas Corridor will be expanded, and new interconnectors will be built.
That will do for today. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye.